I hate those guys in California with their art.
Hello, Eric. Okay. Hello, Eric and John and Lee and Nate and myself. Up, folks, tonight on this examination, we're looking at Amstel Light. And this beer was introduced in 1980, and it is produced in the Netherlands, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, in the European Union. Now, Amstel was established in 1870, but that brewing company was bought out by Heineken in 1968. Okay, and of course, light beer got so popular that in 1980 they decided to issue Amstel Light. Now, also there is a Heineken Light, as you all know, that came out, and it seems like Heineken has a little, what's that tapping sound? Has a little situation with competing against itself. Like, say, some people will grab Heineken Light and some people will grab Amstel Light, but they truly aren't that different, I don't think. Now, so we have from the south, myself, out west, Eric Anderson. Up north, we have John Sharon, Lee Poznansky, who might have frozen up, it looks like, and Nate K, who, Lee, can you hear us? Yeah, Lee may have to reboot. It happens, or just sign off and sign back on. Who has not had, oh, here he is. Who has not had, oh, now, Lee, you got double-faced, okay.
Yeah, sorry, something was wrong with the connection.
That's okay. Who has never had this beer before? Everyone's had it. Nate, I see you have the cans. When I was down in New Orleans earlier this week, I saw they had the 12 packs of cans.
Yeah, we've had them in the cans. We've had them in the bottles here. We actually had, last time we did this examination of Amstel, we actually had the bar bottles. So not the standard size bottles exactly, but the types that they sell to the actual establishments.
What kind?
They have a sort of different type of bottle, I guess, that they have just for like if you own a bar, you get that type of bottle. It might just be a UPC kind of thing, but
oh, okay.
They were bar bottles, though.
Well, I'm drinking this out of a Heineken glass appropriately. The Heineken distributor, about a year ago, he says, hey, would you like these 4 Heineken glasses? And I said, yeah. So I kept 2 and I gave 2 to my friends. So, you know, this beer is made with glucose syrup in the fermentation process, they said. It's 3.5% alcohol. If anybody's got Facebook on, you might want to chill it. Oh wait, this is Google Plus chiming, huh? John is en route. Good. And it's 18 IBUs, so 3.5% alcohol, extremely low alcohol. 18 IBUs. There is another Amstel Light beer that they sell in America. Do y'all know what that is?
That's the only one I've ever seen.
The Radler.
No.
The Radler.
All right.
Oh, right.
And it's made with.
I should have knew that.
It's only like 2% alcohol. It's basically non-alcoholic, and it's the best Radler I've ever had. It's so good.
That's almost on the lines of no duels or something. No duels like 1.5 or something like that.
No, they're like point oh something. So it's It's considered an alcoholic beverage. It's 2%, but I mean, come on, it's like a table beer. There it is.
Where's this from, Lord? I've never seen it around here.
Wow.
Hold that up one more time, Lee. Let me see that. I've never seen that.
I'll
I did a video of it in my father's backyard.
This probably tastes awful, though, because this is really old.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
It's just for decoration.
Mine was fresh. Now, we're going to go out west. Eric Anderson, you've had Amstel Light, and I don't think we ought to spend a lot of time talking about the appearance. Everybody knows it's going to be straw-colored with a thick head and be bubbly, right, and clear?
Depends on what glass you got. You're going to have a head or you're not going to have a head. So.
No lacing, really.
We'll just talk about the aroma. Water, barley malt, hops, and glucose syrup and yeast.
Nailed it.
Hmm.
A little toastiness, though.
Yeah. What do you think, Eric Anderson, about the aroma? Then we'll go down the line talking about the aroma.
This might be the dumbest thing anyone ever said, but it smells watery. Like it smells. It doesn't have like a thickness to the smell. Like in of itself, I feel like I could like smell that and know it was a light beer right off the bat. Like it's a very like that strange that watered down smell. I mean, you can get a little bit of I mean, it is like a little bit malt, a little bit of malt. It's very, very typical light beer smell, but there's just a little bit, maybe like almost a little bit of lemon in there. Like a little bit of citrus, I'd say.
Okay. Well, let's go up north because when Jean joins, we'll do the south. John, Sharon, you're in the the old Northwest, as they called that territory, the old Northwest territory. So, what do you think about the aroma?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get the syrupy taste. I mean, I don't smell much of the lemony taste, but I mean
the aroma.
I must have a fresh one because I don't get the skunkiness out of this. I got no head, no lacing, a little bit of carbonation, but overall, I mean, it's an enjoyable beer. I get where Eric's coming from. I mean, you can definitely get the 3.5% water out of it. But overall, I mean, you get what you get out of it. I mean, you take what you take out of it. I mean, we can sit here and say 10 good things, bad things.
Yeah, let's try to focus on the aroma right now, though. Then we'll go back around and do the taste. How you like that idea?
That's fine.
So you get anything particular in the aroma?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I just get the watery smell, the maybe some light hops out of it, but other than that, I mean, there's just not a whole lot in this beer.
A little bit of corn, like it's just a little bit. If you really look for it, you can smell the corn in there.
Corn? I don't know.
Maybe there's no corn in there, but it smells a little corny.
Yeah.
Get
Now,
that?
Lee, what are you getting on the aroma?
Faint hop presence along with some of that corn syrup malt. That's not from barley, but like from corn syrup, like glucose, I guess is what you said.
Yeah, could that
right?
be? Isn't that a type of corn syrup? It said sugar. Yeah, that's what they said. They use sugar, parentheses, glucose syrup.
Okay, well, that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really. I mean, you get maybe a little bit of like barley malt, and then it's just that regular adjunct malt smell, and then you get that faint hop presence, and it kind of. And that's it. And it has the typical European pale lager scent that every other European, to me at least,
Yeah.
smells like.
How about you, Nate K?
I'll keep it relatively simple because lots been said anyways. But Eric, I'm glad you pointed out the kind of corny sweetness that I was smelling also. I don't know that there is really even the glucose. I don't know how they're getting the glucose into it, where it's coming from. You purify it from something, but I don't know if there's corn in it or not, but it definitely has that distinct corn kind of smell to it that sometimes corn adjunct lagers have.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's the big scent that I did. I didn't get a skunkiness out of it, of course, because it's in a can and it's awesome.
I did not get a skunkiness out of mine. It's just pretty straightforward.
No, Go ahead.
I actually just when I first popped the first one open and poured it in, I did get a rush of skunkiness, which I was confused because I thought brown bottles don't let in sunlight.
They don't generally. That's why Schlitz invented that brown bottle in 1912. They said they first company to use them. Now, the aroma for me, well, obviously it's not exactly bursting with aroma. No one would say the beer is bold, but it's a little bit of what Lee was saying earlier, like a roastiness. Emphasize the word little. And maybe all the other things y'all described, but it's not exactly much. It's not much to talk about in the aroma department. Okay, I think we all agree, huh? How about the flavor? That's the most important part. Like Swillengrog always says, now the most important part, the taste. Who could argue with that? Eric?
I mean, so essentially, I mean, it's basically not far off. I mean, it seems like this beer is like mostly malt. Like most of the flavor, I think, is from malt. But I still get that corny taste. I think I got the smell. The malts, though, even though that seems to be the strongest flavor, I mean, it seems like there's hardly any in there. So I mean, it's a very I mean, the mouthfeel itself is just so light-bodied and watery. I mean, which is typical of a light beer, I guess. I mean, for it's pretty straightforward. It's very slight, maybe grassy notes you could say, but it's a pretty standard light beer in my opinion. I mean, it'd be interesting to put this next to Miller Lite, which I think is actually a stronger beer. I'm gonna say it.
It is stronger. It literally is stronger. Now, John?
Well, you know, when I done my review on this here the other day, and you know, I said when I put this beer up against other beers, I mean, it's got the watery taste. It's 3.5%. I mean, you got a little bit of malt in it. It's got a little bit of hop characteristics in it. But other than that, I mean, basically watered down beer is what you got. I mean, it's your typical, foreign light beer that you're always going to get. And it's like I said in my review the other day of this beer. I mean, it doesn't compare to, say, your Miller Lite or your Bud Light. It's more the watery feel you're going to get off a Coors Light or a Keystone Light. It's more that watered down version. If I was to choose a beer that this was a comparison to, I would probably say more along the lines, I guess you could say a Heineken Light, which it kind of maybe is similar in that role. But I believe this is more along the lines to me. What's the value of it, of a Tecate Light or something like that? I mean, it's got that same characteristics as that particular beer.
Oh, that's a good point to bring up. And they're both owned by Heineken.
So, I mean, you can take this, and I think you could do a side by side. I think you could pick this out between a Heineken Light, but if you put it beside a Tecate Light, I don't think you're going to pick the two out.
That's a really interesting thing that you're bringing up. Lee and then Nate.
Okay, so I noticed when the taste, you first pick up that glucose, that corn glucose flavor. There's a little bit of barley malt presence in there, but there's not that much. You do get some, as I think Eric said, the grassiness. You do get some grassiness in it. A little faint hop presence on the back end, and I still don't know what it is, but with these European pale lagers, there's some kind of, and I've said this before, candy kind of note that I get, and no one knows really what I mean by that, but that's the only way I can explain it. I think it's just a mixture of all of it, you know. But I mean, it's an okay beer. It's not like my favorite or anything, but I mean, if you give it to me, I'll drink it.
That's fair enough. Nate K.
That sounds about right. That's like amongst other things that I'd say about this beer. I'm not, as it sounds like many of you kind of would prefer some other type of beer as to a light beer. It kind of seems like it, but I definitely am not the. It's not a favorite beer of mine to have a light beer. I'm definitely, for one, I'm not a very large person anyway, so I'm not. It's not like I need to worry about the calories for it. So I would definitely choose a darker beer, which is why I'm interested in the Radler. But for this, I think the sweetness kind of. I mean, I've had Bud Light, I've had Miller Lite, and I can't really discern for some reason. My taste buds can't really discern the flavor all that well on it. It tastes more like soda water with alcohol in it for both of those for me. And this one, like, I think it's the roastiness that kind of has. It makes it taste like something more, like a. I don't know. I feel like it's could be universally likable. Something you could have at a party. Nobody gets totally trashed on it, and they could have lots of them. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think your opinion is closest to mine because Scott, the first one I drank, I was like, oh, when I did it 5 years ago, I gave it a C or C minus because I thought it, but I think I used to grade beers harder, like Ken or Tommy Sands, as he calls himself on the internet. He says, well, you didn't like it too much 5 years ago, and then now you're saying it's really good. I said, well, either I used to grade beers too hard, or now I grade them too easy. Because some people will say, you grade beers too easy. You like everything, Well, I don't like everything, but I like most everything, and I'll admit that. But oh yeah, look at you. So it has, it does have some character to it. I mean, I'm picking up some sweet grains, but not too sweet. I'm picking up a little roastiness, not overwhelming amounts of roastiness. But it's like they're not totally pale malts, but probably they really are, right? And they have maybe that glucose syrup, and it's got a prickly carbonation. And it does have some body. Now, this is kind of strange because, light beers usually are so watery and thin. But I think if you drink on it and think on it, it has a little body to it. And it has a little hop note in the end to balance it out. So would I ever actually buy? Yeah, light to medium, like Lee's saying. Would I actually go and buy this? It's $14.99 for a 12-pack. I did buy it for $13.99 at Dorgnax, which always seems to be a bit cheaper than other stores.
God, that's insane.
$13.99. So,
Insane.
well, but I didn't. But oh wait, I didn't buy the $13.99. I paid $7.99 for the 6-pack. That's right.
I think too much 6-pack.
Well, no, I wouldn't buy this because Heineken makes other beers that I would much more prefer, like Newcastle Brown Ale. I prefer the Newcastle Cabby, which I never see anymore. The Newcastle Scotch Ale, the Tecate, the Bohemia Classica, which is an awesome beer, in my opinion, from Mexico. So I like beer that's cheaper than bottled water. Yeah, I agree, Nate. Now,
I like that.
So I think it has some character. Like this is what is this? The third or the fourth out of the 6-pack. And every time I drink it, and John and I talked about this, and he agreed that to pair with a beer, you really have to go 5 times on it, huh, John?
Yeah, I don't think and you see some of these people posting 2 or 3 or 4 beer reviews, a day, and I don't see how they do that because your palate is going to be wrecked. But I think if you're going to really judge a beer, and you want to judge it properly, you got to drink the beer 2, 3, 4 times before you ever judge it and say what it really is. Because, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and you have too, and I'm sure some of the other guys on the panel have too. But, I mean, sometimes you can get a 6-pack of a beer where you can drink 3 of them, but that 4th one's going to taste a little bit different for some reason. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that can't be the beer. It's just got to be. It's got to be us.
Yeah.
Well, the last question is, would you buy it again? I'm telling you, no, I wouldn't buy it again because, and it's not because I'm cheap. It's because if I'm gonna pay $7.99 for a 6-pack, it's not gonna be light beer. But I don't dislike it. It's just some things I prefer more. So I can't say, oh, this beer has all kind of things wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my style. Wait, who's tapping that can?
Sorry.
That's right. The sound, it picks up any like little dust particle falling from the air and hitting a tabletop. It sounds like a cannon shooting. Eric.
So, first of all, the short answer is no. But I have, what I just did was I just poured a shot of whiskey into my Amstel Light.
Okay.
And it improves it. I think it improves the flavor by a large margin. I think if you're intent, I mean, it almost makes sense to me now. Like, if you're on a diet, get some light beer, pour some whiskey in there. Better mixer than anything else. Like, I'm down with. That's the only purpose I can see of light beer as a mixer for whiskey. Works pretty well.
What about this Sazerac rye? What about this Sazerac rye whiskey that I have? You think that would help?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just using plain old Jack. You know, I think bourbon would work better. I love rye whiskey though. I'm sure you had some like Bullet rye whiskey or whatever, but I'm sure that would be good.
I have this. It's called Sazerac.
Yeah. That'd be good.
It almost has a metallic flavor. I mean, but it's
Or if I can break out a couple of these bottles of Pappy, if it frickin' be all right.
Pappy Van Winkle. Oh, one little side note. Last year, the guy at Mathern's, the store manager, tells me, "Oh, we got this Pappy Van Winkle that came in. This one guy ordered it, and he's coming to get it for $95 a bottle." I said, "What?" So we can get it down here. Okay, Jean H. Pierre. Now, Jean H. Pierre, you have to do something for us. You have to tell us about the aroma, the flavor. If you would ever drink, if you would ever buy
give me
And I gotta put this
Hey, Jay, while he's pouring his beer and he's getting ready, I'm gonna show you something, okay?
All right.
You was talking about Schlitz was the first brown bottle, right?
1912.
Okay. Here's a 1928 bottle of Schlitz. Okay.
Wow. It's still got beer in it?
No.
Show the ooh.
That's a 1928 bottle of Schlitz.
whoa.
What size is that?
That's a it doesn't say.
12 ounce or
20 ounce bottle.
Yeah.
20 ounce? Wow. That's nice.
But if you take a look at this one of the first brown bottles ever made, to the
Vintage.
brown bottle right now, it's on comparison the thickness and the color of the brown bottle.
Pretty good comparison, John.
So
What'd you say again?
if you take a look at the thickness of the bottles and the color of the brown bottles, it's on comparison to what.
Yeah, but you know, those European brown bottles always look kind of green, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, now Sean H. Pierre, you do your thing. Go.
Well, I mean, so far, for 3.5% alcohol by volume, it doesn't taste like it. I think it tastes more of a 4.1, like some of the other macro, light beers that are out there. But as I've always said before, with this beer and any imports, it feels like you're drinking more ABV to it than what it is that it says on the bottle. It's decent, nice little color. It's going down easy for me, so it's nothing really special about this.
You getting any particular notes in the flavor and the aroma?
A little grassiness, a little bit. Very, very little certain decision, but it has that sort of kind of a bit. I wouldn't say hoppy, but it's kind of like I said, something with your standard Euro lager, smell.
Yeah. And would you buy it again?
I'll probably buy it again, for a dinner party.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with friends. Busch Light or
Yeah.
MB Light.
Got that. 1928 bottles Schlitz during Prohibition. Oh no, he said 19. Oh yeah, that's a good point. How could it be 1928 during Prohibition? Could have been a. Oh yeah, good point. Maybe it was Schlitz malt. Malta. Hey, Eric Anderson, you're right. It is better as a toddy.
You put some of that rye whiskey in there?
Yeah. Better as a toddy, but it makes it taste more watery. I don't know, but it tastes good though. It lightens up the body, believe it or not.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it actually adds some flavor, which the beer needs.
But it lightens up the body, strangely. Hey, well, people get mad because we do examinations and say, this bunch of yo-yos, they want to examine all these macro-produced beers, and then they talk about all its attributes. They must be on the payroll of all these companies and all that. It's like, you know what? All we're doing is having fun with it and hanging out and talking about it. We are, and I said this back in December. I said on another video, I said, this is not some kind of quest. We are not on a quest. This is not like some goal that we're trying to accomplish, at least in my viewpoint. And some people get so angry, like, oh, why are you saying this? Why are you saying that? You take up for the big guys, blah, blah. Look, it is not all about that in my case. I can only speak for myself. I drank beer because I like the taste of it. I like to study beer brands. I started doing that in 1996. It's been 20 years this month. Oh, I just remembered. This is the 20th anniversary. I just thought of that just now.
Cheers. Cheers.
20th anniversary of drinking beer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Good time to start
Cheers.
going off on a rant.
I don't drink beer. I don't care what it is. I've had people say, "Are you a beer drinker? Are you a craft beer drinker? Are you a malt beer drinker?" I'm a freaking beer drinker. I don't care what I drink. I mean, if I enjoy it, I like it.
That's what it's about.
I'm sorry. That is my viewpoint. I know other people have this great, like I said, I keep using that word, this quest, like this is some great endeavor. Like, we must achieve all of these goals as it concerns beer. No, not in my viewpoint. Now, I'm going to let y'all talk too. My goal, you say, what is the goal? What is the goal? What is the end game? What is the end game? There is no end game. The goal is to drink beer. It is not to take sides or be in a faction or be angry or say, you heard what said about me? You heard what I got my feelings hurt. I'm gonna tell them.
Right.
It is not about that for me. You might be into all that. So, no, Lee, I've never thought about opening a brewery. So, I can only speak for myself. My viewpoint for 20 years now has been to drink this beer and then try a different beer and then try this other beer and then try this other beer, and then I like to research the history of it because I used to teach history, and I like to look at the labels because I like labels, and I used to be interested in art. That's it. I mean, that is it. That's it. Now, anybody?
Well,
I'm brewing some bacon beer. Do you all know that?
Huh?
I'm making some bacon beer.
really?
That's pretty awesome.
Not like something I would hate, but
Add bacon.
But anybody else want to talk about that whole conceptual issue?
Well, I've kind of agree with you, Jay, and I want to thank you and everyone for saying this because, like I said, growing up, I've had the 40s and I had the buds and whatever, and as I've gotten older, I had some wine, and stuff like that. I still drink wine from time to time, but it's good to examine because I tell people, hey, listen, I know y'all stick to the brands y'all used to, but explore, try other things. When I went to a party, I bought it was a cookout. I bought some Yingling. I bought I think a 12-pack bottles of Yingling, the traditional lager at the time when it came here. Everyone was what's this? I said, well, this is okay. This is all right because all they ever drink is Bud Light. And I said, listen, that's fine what y'all drink, but folks, there are other beers out there besides Bud Light. So try something else, Try, another light beer, say Miller Lite. Try something else other than what you see at the stores. I know they're big sellers, but like I said, it's good to explore. Takes expand your horizons.
John,
Nothing wrong with that.
John, I used to proselytize like that. I used to be a missionary, but I made no headway. Everybody in my family said, screw off. We like Miller Lite. We like Coors Light. No one cares about your pumpkin peach ale. Get out of our face. So then I was like,
you know.
so then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to try to convert my family and friends anymore. I'm just going to drink what I want, and if they don't want to explore, that's fine. I mean, I used to be hung up on that, like, why don't y'all want to try this? Because we're not into that. Just leave us alone, damn. So, and they were right, and I was wrong. I'll admit it now.
But
If you want to drink Bud Light the rest of your life, or you want to drink Busch Light the rest of your life, and you don't want to experiment, that's fine. If you want to drink the most expensive beers that have a batch number and they're signed, and you want to wait in line for 9 hours and drink it, like John does, that's fine too. You want to be mad, don't be mad. Be happy, don't be happy. You won't be depressed about beer. You won't be excited about beer. I don't care. Okay, enough's enough.
But you know, let me say this. I mean,
When you get home.
Wait, hold on. Lead pause.
Chris has showed us a picture of what he's going to be doing tomorrow night.
What? It's all of this. Okay. Now,
you know, I guess I can say I'm lucky enough. I've had my bucket list of beers that I've wanted to try, and you know, and still every once in a while I get to throw one in. You know, I guess my wife bought me that book called 300 Beers You Must Have Before You Die, and I probably drank over half those beers.
I love that.
I could probably say my bucket list has been completed. You know, and the one that I really was wanting to try was that Tactical Nuclear Printing by Brewed, and you know, lucky enough I've had that twice, and that's a $100 bottle of beer. But you know, after your bucket list is kind of filled, I mean, there's nothing left to put in it, but try, you know, nostalgia type beers, and you know, Jay, that's a big word with me, the nostalgia type beers, and other people look at it as like you're nuts, but I like to see these old beer styles like Fall City, Sterling and Wiedemann and like that they come back from the archives and being a craft beer. And I've tried them all, but you know, once your bucket list is completed of beers, where else can you go? But look at what you grew up with when you was 18, 19, 20 years old. You're you know, and try those beers and start reviewing them, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of at a point in my life where, you know, I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 in August. And it's kind of at a point in my life where I'm starting over. I'm starting back again with.
Wait. Eric muted it because they're having a discussion. Let's call it. You say you don't have an end game?
No, I mean, like, you know, I'm 49. I'll be 50 in August, and my bucket list of craft beers is complete. It's now I want to start looking at beers like I've been reviewing on my YouTube channel. You know, the Busch Lights and BS and
right.
Other light beers like that, like the Amstel Light I did. But I want to start looking at some Longhorns and some other beers like that. That are your nostalgia type beers that people just aren't doing anything with. And
Schlitz, Schaefer's, right?
Yeah. Oh, but that's like a big problem. Oh, no, but that's a big problem. That's a big problem because you're drinking regular beers and talking about it. That's such a big problem. It's like, oh, Lord, what's going to happen to this world? What is the world coming to? Because he drank Genesee and he, you know, oh, wow, what a big deal. I mean,
he's drinking malt liquor. What is he doing?
Jay.
I have so much cognitive dissonance over this. Okay, Lee.
I went down and picked up my Amstel Light Louisville the other day. I picked up two more, plus I got a refrigerator full now, 2 more high gravity malt liquors from Colt 45.
Because you're
Lee, and I grabbed that Tecate freaking tomato one.
Oh yeah, we gotta look at that. Well, yeah. You just insulted like half the beer world with that ridiculous, insipid list. And I'm very ashamed of you. Okay, well, you know.
If you get on my YouTube channel the next week or two, you'll see me freaking review every one of them. So
that's why this world's got problems. Okay, that's why this world's got problems. All right, Lee. Talk for 10 minutes.
It's all I really wanted to say was that's all right. All I wanted to say was, like, I think there's like this kind of stereotype with all these like American adjunct lagers with the world actually with your Amstels, your Heinekens, your Coronas, Coors Lights, Budweisers, and especially like natural ice, Keystone Ice and natural ice especially. Like I have a friend that like calls me stupid because I like natural ice, and he loves Stella. I hate Stella. I mean, no offense to you guys if you like Stella.
That's what you like, Lee. That's what
Exactly.
That's your personal
Exactly.
feelings. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like even to some of these craft brewers, craft beer drinkers, like they hate Bud Light. They hate it even if it's brewed by the same company, even if they never had it. Like how could you hate something that you've never had? Like you don't know, you know? Like it's just they just follow the stereotype.
It's like a crucifix and a vampire.
Exactly. I don't really know what that means, but
You know how in Bram Stoker's Dracula, when the vampire would see the crucifix, the cross,
mm-hmm.
they would like say, Well, I had somebody watching one of my videos one time, and I had this big shelf behind me, with all my beer bottles, all macro beers, because I have to have some limit to what I collect, right? So the only craft beers I get is Louisiana produced, because I don't need to have a house full of 10,000 beer bottles and cans. So the guy's saying, I could tell by what you got on the shelf behind you that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was like, right, that really makes you not know about beer because you got Pabst Blue Ribbon bottles behind you. It's like, man, look, this is not that complicated.
Wow.
You know how complicated this is? It's like, you open up the bottle, you drink it, and you decide if it's good or not. I mean, that is so hard to do. Can you imagine how hard that is to do? And it's like, you can tell if something's cheap and garbage to drink, and if something's quality. I mean, drink some Boxer Lager, and you will find out it's very cheap. It's horrible. It's like getting that value time cheese substitute.
Yeah.
Well, or if you get Country Castle Limburger for $6.99 an 8-ounce block, or you get the value time cheese for $6.99 for a 2-pound barrel, or a huge barrel. So I mean, it's like it's not that hard to figure out. This is not yet cheese product. Maybe I'm wrong, but is this that complicated?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. It's just that it's just like look, people are set in their ways. I understand, but I just feel that don't condemn someone when like I said, my lady condemns me when I'm drinking Old Milwaukee during Mardi Gras. I see a can of Old Milwaukee. I'm drinking. I'm having a good time. She's shaking my head. Why? Why are you shocked? It's not Bud Light. I'm having fun. Throw me a teddy bear. Throw me a moon pie or something. Well, I got my Old Milwaukee in my hand.
That's your problem. That's your problem because you're trying to have fun. You're trying to have fun, and you're raining on everybody's misery, and I don't appreciate it. Hey, we really need to talk about you coming down here for this Mardi Gras weekend. But Eric,
I'm trying, man.
I understand.
Family, kid, and the wife. Just to say, baby, I think I'm gonna go take care of some stuff, New Orleans. I'll see you in maybe in a day or so.
Yeah, that may not be the best route. Hey, Eric Anderson, what do you think about all this? Because Eric Anderson can really get wild too with a rant now. But I'm not encouraging you to do that because we got to shut this down. We've been on too long.
Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, wait. Let me summarize this. To sum it up, the whole point of what I'm saying is this is not that important, and I don't even care. I swear I don't care. There's no end game, and it's all about drinking beer and enjoying it. And beyond that, I mean, there's no quest. There's no vision quest. Sorry, but that's.
Let me say this. I send emails out probably 3 or 4 a week to these beer companies asking for information about beers. And they send me stuff back, but I've never received a free beer from them. I've never received free merchandise from them. And
I have.
And I understand that and I respect it, and I wish I could get free stuff. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Oh yeah, well, people say you beg those companies. Well, somebody said, and he says, I'm not going to name names because too many people cry too much. But somebody named my name yesterday on a video that I watched this morning. I wasn't offended at all, and in fact, I agreed with most everything in that video. But
You know,
that was
so
Lee
Jay,
Russell. Lee Russell. I agree. I agreed really with what he said. But
If you watch the video, I mean, some stuff I did, and a lot of stuff I didn't. I'm sorry.
that's all right. But I did generally agree with it. But the point is that actually somebody said, and it wasn't Lee that said that, but somebody said, oh, I find it hard to believe that these companies just call you up and ask you if you want beer to review. Well, I said, oh well, sorry, because that's exactly what happened. And that guy from Miller, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Miller, he says, oh, you want to try these beers? I said, well, yeah. I tried the root beer, and I thought it was horrible, and I told him that. He said, well, that's what I get for giving you beers to review. I said, well, it was terrible. And then he said he was going to give me these Biloxi beers to review, but I haven't seen any of them. But, you know, that'll be the day I'm going to go begging these people for beer. I have money. I can buy a beer.
Yeah.
I have a budget. I have a grocery budget. What now, Jay? Somebody said my name.
oh, a minute ago, I mean, I understand your whole thing about the quest, like, especially when I was younger. I definitely had a quest, maybe not to drink every beer, but I had a quest to, like, drink all of Stone's beer. Like, I pretty much handled it back then. Like, I drank pretty much every kind of Stone beer that they had, you know. But I mean, beyond that, it gets insane. It's just too much.
It's not a quest, though. That's just a goal. I'm talking about this whole beer thing, like people saying, oh, they got people out there, they do videos, and they say this. Well, who cares if they make videos? Why is that important? It's like, okay, I watch some beer reviewers that make the worst videos on earth. And they don't know what they're talking about. They say ridiculous things like, well, I like Miller Lite because I can't stand lagers. You know, it's like, oh, come on, man. But, you know,
Weird.
they don't do the research, but whatever, you know. But it's like, I don't get upset about it. I just say,
Hey, but, you know, I've seen some, you know, I don't watch a lot of beer reviews on YouTube, but you know, I mean, I see these people that pay for subscribers and pay for this and do that, and you know, I see every one of them sitting in front of a freaking computer screen going, reading off a Beer Advocate or Rate Beer or something freaking crazy. You know, I'll say like Dr. Dave, roll it from the hip.
yeah, I agree with that. But I do take notes now. You know, like I like to write notes down because you know my format, John.
Take notes down. I mean, everybody does that.
No, but you know my format. I do the research on the beer, try to find out all the information. Then I'll say, what did Beer Advocate say about it? What did Rate Beer say about it? And then I drink it and see what I say about it. And then after I do the video, I go back and I do my written review, which I'm more interested in my written review, in fact. Then I see what I wrote and I compare it to what people wrote in the last month. Most of the time it matches up, although we won't necessarily like it or not. Like I might describe the same characteristics and say it tasted kind of bad, but they'll say how good it tastes. Well, that's personal preference. And well, everybody doesn't like the same type of food, so why you have to get upset about that? But anyway, you know, it's a fun hobby, and
that's what I look at it as a hobby, you know, and it's kept me sane in a lot of ways, you know, doing this. You know, I look for when I get off work and, you know, have time, I'll talk about the beer and I'll research it, I'll look at it and discuss it, and I'll get some comments, you know, from some people, and when I got a comment from those on when I did the review of Genesee Cream Ale and I posted it on Facebook, and Maria and then some of my classmates that I went to school with talked about it. I said, Gene, I know you did this kind of stuff, and they mentioned it. It was kind of, you know, we talked back and forth, and that's all it is. It's something, you know, it's good for any man and woman to have a hobby. You got to have a hobby.
right. And I can drink St. Bernardus, Abbott 12, and and really enjoy it, and then turn right around, like you say, drink Genesee cream ale, and I enjoy that, and I don't have all this angst. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, well, you know, it's cheap. I don't care.
I agree with that.
If I like it, I like it. I don't have to be like in this cognitive dissonance over it. You know, like I'm so conflicted. Like, oh, I'm drinking somebody gave me some 10 barrel, and the first time I tried it, but it's owned by Anheuser-Busch. I feel guilty about it. Like, why would I feel guilty? You know, if I knew that somebody was giving money to like the satanic motorcycle gang who kidnaps babies, then yeah, I would feel guilty about it. But otherwise, otherwise, I don't know. Rant over.
Yeah, you should be truthful with yourself about what you like. You know, if you don't like light beer, then you don't like light beer. But it's not worth it to fake it. If you actually do like that, and you're just pretending like, oh yeah, I like these IPAs, but secretly deep inside yourself, you think that's terrible, but you're just drinking it because it makes you look cooler, then you suck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fake it. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna fake it. I'm not here to score points. If I drink it and I like it, like this Amstel Light, I love this beer, man. I like the labeling. I like the beer. I don't care for light beers much. I'd love to go to. I would rather drink the Amstel Bock. That's 7% alcohol, and the Sturk. That's 7.5. That'd be more up my alley. But I think it's good. I'm comfortable with that. That's my lifestyle.
And I agree with Jay. I mean, I like this beer. I think for a price point, it's a little high.
Yeah, I think Miller Lite is better, and I think Miller Lite is cheaper, and I can't imagine buying this over Miller Lite because I think Miller Lite's better. Yeah. And that's even if I was just drinking light beer, which is not something I normally do. But if I was going to get light beer, I think Miller Lite is better. Yeah, and it's cheaper.
But same with MB Light, Milwaukee's Best Light, same thing. You know, I agree, Eric.
Oh yeah, I love that. We're gonna do it next week.
But I mean, this beer right here is one that if I'm not gonna go seeking in to buy it, but I mean, if I was going to somebody's house that's never had this and they into light beers, I'd go pick up a 6-pack or 12-pack and bring it to their house, let them try it. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean,
yeah, and you put a target on your chest because you said in one of your videos, I'm a light beer enthusiast.
I am a light beer enthusiast.
And you're gonna be so hated in this world. How dare you enjoy light beer? That's funny. I love when you said that because I was thinking, oh well, he has a right to enjoy light beer.
But I mean, most of my beers that I've done reviews on and stuff are light beers, and there's more to come. I've got a barrel load of them. I'm gonna do some more can reviews on light beers. But I mean, that's what I enjoy doing, and that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, if people don't like it, they don't have to watch, or they can thumb down my reviews. I mean,
there you go. That's what it's about, John.
Yeah, and my daughter. Hey, your daughter's there with you. Some of my favorite videos that I do is the videos I do with my daughter. She loves to try these beers, and she's not a big beer drinker, but she loves to try them. And I think we've done over 100 videos together since 2011. And the first beer we did, what we reviewed together, Chimay Red Cap.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what beer she liked? You know what beer she liked the most? I think
the Triple Export.
Yeah, you can go watch the video. Look, believe me, she doesn't know who makes the beer, and she knows nothing about the products, okay? So I said, try this Steel Reserve Triple Export in the black can. If you watch the video, she's like, oh, this is the best beer I've ever tried. And I couldn't get over that. I was trying to hide my face. But I was like, oh, man, this is so comical, because she's going up to the mountaintop, and she thought the best thing was in the trailer park.
Well, she's not old enough to get there yet, but we'll get her there one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess we beat.
I ain't never gonna drink.
That's what she said.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Well, I never said that because, I started drinking beer when I was 2 years old because they would have barbecues and let me sip out the bottle. But I just took a break from drinking beer from teenage years until age 27. So in the time when everybody else was drinking and getting drunk and going wild, I wasn't drinking at all. I was drinking Coke and Barks Root Beer and RC Cola.
which is bad for you, you know, and the amount of sugar in those sodas right now.
I know. I feel better now that I drink beer. Now I know why I felt run down all the time from age 17.
And hyper excited, you know.
Yeah. From age 17 to 27, I felt kind of like all the time. Now I start drinking beer and I feel a lot better. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching this extended video. And but you know, hey, you gotta just say what you gotta say. So no beer is bad for you. Well, Eric, if you drank Camo if you drink Camo Silver Ice, you'll retract that opinion. Okay.
I don't know if you've ever had beer 30 light, but you're not. Have you ever had beer 30 light?
Or Four Loko.
I've never had Four Loko, but I'm getting ready to do a review on a beer that you told me not to review, John. So.
Begged you not.
Yeah, that Four Loko said, "Don't do it, please."
If you drink beer 30 Ice, it tastes like store brand grape soda and roofing tar. I kid you not. All right, thanks for watching this video, folks, and y'all have a good night and drink whatever you want and vote for